Hello and welcome to the 2025 JSRA season.
What a race this has been. But there is Dominic Charles now sitting in the slipstream of the Australian, maybe trying to see if he can force a mistake.
Oh, what a move by Moss on the outside of Jaden Harrison.
Olem Kimani as the fans are out and about. John just closing off the gap to the Trinidadian.
3, 2, 1, go! Fast, sharp right. Fast, sharp right. Sharp right. Sharp right. Listen. 7.
Good evening everyone and welcome on in to the Jamaican Sim Racing Association. Tonight it's the Caribbean Touring Car Championship live from the Daytona International Speedway. It's round 1. The new year brings in a new rebooted series. So welcome on in, a couple of sprint races for you tonight here on the Jamaican Sim Racing Association, live on Twitch and YouTube across the globe. We'd like to welcome you on into a fairly cloudy and warm evening here in Daytona. Folks are finishing their practicing and we're getting ready for qualifying. It's going to be really exciting. We hope you're ready as well. So join us tonight as we get going here. Me, Mercury045, will be your lead commentator for this season. We'll be doing most of the races, and we'll be alongside Stephen Stewart as well, who is the man that makes this all happen. He will be joining us in the booth here in just a few moments' time, and he'll be able to help you through everything you need to know for this race and this season. So just getting going here, we'll go ahead and we'll bring on down the music. We hope you enjoyed that intro video because I certainly did. We're gonna go ahead and talk you through all the action here. Less than 10 minutes to go. Let's take a look at some of the folks getting ready here. Coming out to the pit lane, getting their setups finished up. We have already 12 people who have set a lap time, and not sure if we'll get any more right before we begin, but looking a little bit cloudy out there. Not sure if it's going to rain. I don't see any rain in the forecast at least, but it is exciting nonetheless. So if you want to know what the Jamaican Sim Racing Association is, it is a racing league which is based in the Caribbean area, but mostly Jamaica. Drivers, very good drivers from all around those countries, and they have different classes of ranking for their driver, and you have the bronze drivers, lots of bronze drivers in this series, and you also have some silver drivers as well. Silver drivers can compete in series above the CTCC, and bronze drivers, as far as I'm aware, can only go into this starter series. So it is very competitive, people trying to work up to that silver class. There is, by the way, a prize pool for this race, and I was just actually informed of that earlier this afternoon. First place getting $70, US dollars that is, going all the way down to 8th place getting 7, and looking really, really good. $200 total, that is, for the top 8. And these are sprint races, by the way. Sprint races, 20 minutes and a lap for the first race. The second race will be 20 minutes as well, but it's a reverse grid for the top 10. Then, of course, plus a lap at the end as well. So that means if the clock strikes 0, you'll still have another lap on top of that regardless. And rolling start procedures apply for this, which, if you're part of the JSRA, you already know about how to do them. So we're going to get a lovely rolling start into turn 1 here tonight. The briefing should have already happened nearly an hour ago. Qualifying is in a few minutes here at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And then we'll get the party started with race 1. Let's bring on in our partner in crime for this season for the CTCC, and the man, like I said before, who makes it all happen. Please welcome on in Mr. Stephen Stewart. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Good evening, Mark. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How are you? And I hope everyone in the stream can hear you okay.
I'm hoping so, but I will commend you on that really epic intro there to start off the season. Something that I was looking forward to once you pitched the idea. So very, very, very excited. Very glad to see how successful it looked and professional. So kudos to you, sir, and very excited for another season of the 2025 Caribbean Touring Car Championship. How's it looking so far?
It's looking all right. Well, I'm seeing a whole bunch of folks going around the track, 56s and 57s. I was hearing that 55 could be the quickest that we can see, and I bet you we'll see that in qualifying in just a few minutes. I am trying to get all these overlay stuff on, but for some reason the game scene didn't work, so I had to quickly try and fix that. But everything is showing at least game-wise at the moment, so as I fix that, you can talk about the drivers and what you can expect to see for their pace today.
Absolutely, and well, again, good night to everybody listening. We are so happy to be back with you here to present you another season of the Caribbean Touring Cars, and what a way to kick it off at the Daytona Road Circuit. For the first in a very long time, we'll have some returning drivers. As you see right below Mr. Rohir Robinson is Miss Raven Plomo. I did see her in the 55s, so please look out for her. Dominic Charles and Estefano Barrera as well are two of the drivers that you're going to be looking forward to, as the one Trinidadian, one Colombian, and one Jamaican now tops the podium. This is the practice session, and I promise you most of these drivers are not using their push to pass as yet. But that being said, please look for those times to fall. I think it was going down as low as the 54 high. So just in case, just keep that popcorn close and just be ready. As I was about to say that even though you are only seeing 12 drivers at the time, there are up to 26 drivers, if I remember correctly, maybe even 25, as we ride along board here with Mr. Kurt Moss, aka Massive, one of our key and I would say legacy drivers, somebody who never misses a race if he can make it, and one of our dear friends here at the JSRA. Even though he is in P16 at the moment, he tends to just try and use the first few laps, learn the car, and just get around the track as quickly as possible. So we will continue to ride along board with him in the very, well, current future. But that being said, oh, Mark, are you back?
So I think I fixed it. At least I hope I did. Well, I'm trying to anyway. But yeah, I think we're just about there. Ah, that's why it was like that. My apologies, Mr. Stephen. Obviously, things never go right the first time, but now if I click transition, everything should show up. All of our lovely sponsors that we're going to have for the season, and of course some other very important information. It should now be finally showing up. So I greatly apologise for that, but we finally got that working. Got to love OBS Studio sometimes, and how those things work. Yeah. So anyway, Mr. Stephen, so Dominic Charles, you said at the top there, a second up already. And he is always quick. He's always at the top. You might remember him from last year. He was also in the Chase for Pace, if I remember correctly, which was the series that I commentated a few races for last year. We also have a couple of people I don't really see very often, or maybe they're only in this series and I haven't commentated them before, but I see a couple of names. Michael McNamee, we got Samuel Cortez, don't necessarily recognize that name, Hans Castaneda, whole bunch of people that I'm going to be watching for the first time tonight, and we're going to see how they fare against the folks that are really, really good at this. So I'm excited.
I can tell you for a fact you are going to be in for a treat tonight. Hans Castaneda is one of the Colombians from Nova Racing Team, a driver that even over the course of the preseason, where we're doing some testing and going through the preseason testing, these cars are typically updated at the end of each season. We've gotten them almost next to perfection, says the drivers. So at this point, through all of the very extensive testing, we believe some really good door-to-door racing will come to fruit. We do have some relatively new drivers, especially to the stream at least, where you see Mr. Riley Curtis. He is if I remember correctly, a 13-year-old.
Wow.
He is a karter who races in real life or has just started his racing career. I will definitely get that confirmed before the end of this evening. But Riley did take part in one of our races in the preseason as well, and he was a force to be reckoned with. He was immediately quick, so he's another driver that we'll love to keep an eye on during the course of this race. He is one of the AC karting drivers, as you see his teammate there right beside him. I believe that's his teammate because no, that is not his teammate, my apologies. But his teammates will be Rodrigo Senawile, the name that maybe not you.
Yeah, he's in the pits right now, but I don't know him.
Yeah, maybe not you, but the fans in the audience should be quite aware with Rodrigo and John Singleton of AC Karting, two really good friends of ours here at the JSRA. They create the greatest karting mods that we can truly admit to, because we're actually hosting a championship alongside with them, and even in the midst of that, Riley and a few other real-life karters have been testing the karts, and we've been developing them over the past few months, and it's just been absolutely amazing. So definitely something to look forward to. But the AC karting team, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely a force to be reckoned with, so don't count them out too soon.
And just as you say all that, the session is complete. The practice session means nothing for now, but it does give us the indications that we need for the race coming up. Who is quick, who is not, who is looking to win a fairly hefty prize pool for this race, which I'm just so excited about. Before I brought you in, I was saying, Stephen, that there is a $200 prize pool for the race today, including 70 going to the winner. That is quite exciting. Dominic Charles might be on for that.
And again, it can go very much so either way. The likes of the Trinidadian in Dominic Charles and Estefano, as well as Jaden Harrison, all three of them are true contenders for that top step. Jaden was complaining a little bit of his car and did a late switch, so he is now driving in the BMW M2, if I remember correctly. So we'll definitely be looking forward to see what he can do as well. But that being said, yeah, this should be very interesting to say the least, because it's not just them. We have Raven Plummer coming back from a hiatus. We have Rohir Robinson, who is always in the top three. Daniel Velez, again, another driver who has been very promising for that top step in every season. So, just as you said earlier, practice is just practice. Qualifying is where you start to make a name for yourself, but in the race is where it really matters. And tonight is the first round. Very excited to see what is going to happen in the very near future.
I'd like to say hello to people watching around the globe here tonight for the 2025 JSRA season, starting off one of several series we'll have this year. We see a couple of people in the YouTube chat, Alec Whitehawk and Star, hello, welcome on in, cheering for Dominic Charles there, okay, and also in my chat as well on twitch.tv/Mercurio45, we have CSJ90, and we have Kinney Monster as well. Welcome on in. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. What a pleasure as the track falls silent here as we get ready for the switch over to the qualifying session. Let's just round up the practice session results for you if we can. Dominic Charles with a 56.063, doing very well in the practice session. Estefano Barrera, who we've seen so many times before, charged through the field. He is here and he's in second place. We look forward to seeing him again. Jaden Harrison, who is a good friend of all of us here at the JSRA and has helped out Stephen so many times. 56.163 for him in third. Then we have Kyle Barrett in fourth. Omar Escorcia in fifth, or is it Escorcia, I believe it is, excuse me. Rohei Robinson sixth, Raven Plummer seventh, Mikhail Charles in eighth, and then we have Daniel Velez ninth. Kimani Eastman joins us tonight in 10th, Hans Castaneda 11th, and rounding out in 12th, we have Christian Gomez, a 57.129 there. We will have more, I believe. But that is what shows here on my timing tower, the top 12 here in the list.
Christian, and it should give you a little bit more of the drivers as well.
It should, but it just reset there. So I'll have to look at it afterwards, it seems. Yeah, it just went away. Qualifying starts. We'll let you go through them there. Stephen, they're pulling away right now. Let's watch them run out to the pit lane.
And I just realized I got disconnected from the server, so I will be rejoining as we speak.
But
as qualifying just or does resume or begin, let me say. It's an amazing opportunity to just give a quick shout out to our title sponsors for the season, beginning with Emmanuel Boutique. They've been with us since day one. Ceramic Hair Coating, so if you have any coating desires for your motor, especially here down in Jamaica, please feel free to give them a shout. Their information is and can be found on our Instagram account, and we love to support who supports us. And finally, 7 Mile Racing, the motor racing federation from, well, never not say federation, the motor racing team similar to the JSRA out in Cayman Islands, who have seen what we've done, and we are in very exciting times with some plans that we have that we're looking forward to announcing in the very near future. So please, again, as always, stay tuned to our social media, and we will be very excited to give you some information as soon as possible. But Mark, you can take away the qualifying in the meantime.
Well, thank you very much. I hope he gets in soon because the action is starting. You might see on the track map we have well more than 12 people. So I do apologise if we didn't get to say all of your names for the practice results. I know there were plenty more than that. But unfortunately, the timing tower at the moment kind of cuts off after 9, and then it shows... Well, you can kind of see it there. There it is. Now it shows top 12. So it only shows the top 12. We'll see if we can get more than that. But there is just about 30 or so, maybe even more than that on the track. I see at least 28 there. So absolutely huge field tonight for the opener, which is fantastic. And flying laps starting now on board with Riley Curtis. Or at least we're trying to get on board. There we are. flying around the International Horseshoe. If you don't know how this track goes, we'll go ahead and run you through a lap. It's pretty simple. It is the road course variant of the Daytona International Speedway. So that means the tri-oval plus the infield section, which as you can see is follows. The International Horseshoe, then down towards the kink, up to the West Horseshoe, which Riley Curtis has just gone through, and then up towards the bankings they go again. So pretty much 95% or so of the tri-oval is used, but also of course they have a little bit of the infield, which brings the lap up to the minute 55 that you are seeing. So, going round, hugging the apron, but not going onto it, trying to take the quickest line, and also trying to get the draft here from the man we have here in front. Let's see how they take the bus stop, now called the Le Mans Chicane, which I am terribly sorry to all the racing fans out there that don't like the new name, or indeed the new variant without the grass that just debuted at the Rolex the past weekend. You can take the apron. There is no rules against it. Track limits is theoretically all the way to the grass. However, in NASCAR, they do have the yellow line, so that's why you see that there at all. You are allowed to go under the yellow line if you so desire, if you think that's going to get you a quicker lap time. So crossing the line, it's actually Christian Gomez who takes first to start off, and Riley Curtis now third as he crossed the line. Let's take a look at Dominic Charles. Oh, he's gone back to the pit lane. All right, let's go to Christian Gomez then. He did a 57 flat. Obviously, lots of time to improve here for all these drivers, and you can see the number of laps they are completing as well. It is paramount to go back to the pits after a couple of laps to change out your tyres, get a new fresh set of rubber, and try and keep those lap times fresh all the time. You only get I think that was 15 minutes of lap time. Yes, 15 minutes of session time. So I don't believe, beyond of course the little bit per zeros, to complete your lap, your final lap, you really don't have any more than that. So you have to get out and do it quickly. And if you go back to pits, you have to get out as quickly as you can. Make sure you have all your presets for your setups there all done and ready. So lots to think about, and lots of execution to be made for these drivers. They need to be on the ball the entire time, Stephen.
Hey, Mark, I'm now hearing that my mic might be a little bit low, so I'm not sure if you could just check the settings.
Yes, I will turn you up. I have you turned up in the OBS, so I'll turn you up here in the Discord, because I do realise it might be a little bit low. Try my best, guys, I promise. I'm trying my best.
No, and again, I must thank you, Mark, for taking the time out to spend the evening with us here in the Caribbean Touring Car Championship Round 1. And again, this is how it works. We normally have to go through the teething phase until we get everything perfect, but nonetheless, it's after an amazing start. I know that's just one small mistake, so we'll continue to improve as we go along.
I have turned you up. Hopefully folks on Twitch and YouTube can let me know how it is. Yes, I am looking at... Well, we're using Restream.io for the very first time. So we are looking at both chats in harmony. There we are. Looking for the words. Yeah, both YouTube and Twitch together. So I'm looking at the chat. I see Helver Barrera. Hello, welcome on in, saying let's go Colombian drivers. Lots of great Colombian drivers in the field. Yeah, Estefano definitely cheering them on. Luis Arenas, hello, welcome on in, says good luck to the drivers. And Julie BB, hello, welcome on in, says let's go Noba Racing Store. Exciting.
Absolutely. And Helvo is the father of Mr. Estefano Barrera, one of our best and greatest friends here at the JSRA. So I'm happy to always see him here in the chat as always, and I'm sure we'll be rooting on his son and the Noble Racing team as always. So he does have some competition tonight. As you can see, Hans Castaneda, Kurt Moss as well is now in P4. Let me take a quick look at the rundown as I'm seeing Dominic Charles now in P1, Jaden Harrison in P2 with a 155.966. So he's about 4 tenths off of Dominic Charles. Looking down the grid to see who is improving. Mark, if you don't mind, could you
Yes, well,
share your
see,
screen?
I was looking. Yes, you mean in Discord? I can, yes.
Yes.
No problem whatsoever. Although it's exactly the same pretty much as the Twitch, but I will do it anyway. My poor GPU is going to be running very hot today. Okay, hopefully that works for you. I am looking down the field now, Stephen, and I am seeing more than the top 12. You have to click on 13, and then it shows you a bunch more. So we have Roger Keller, Escorcia, Nicholas Donalds is running in the race. So you might remember last year he was actually the person stewarding the races, and he's done such a good job. We thank him so very much. He's in the lovely leopard car there. That's a fantastic livery.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. We have Riley Curtis now way back in 15th, so not having the pace as of yet. John Singleton behind, and then Samuel Cortez is 17th position, well back at 158.1. So it just keeps going on back and back and back. And it looks like the furthest back that has an actual lap time is Greg Forte. If I'm saying that name correctly. I do apologise if I do pronounce anyone's name wrong. We'll get it right over the course of the season, but the 2057 there. So that is the furthest back I can see in 23rd there, Stephen.
My only concern now is I have not seen Miss Plummer make an indicative lap as yet. Is she even on the track is the next question. She was one of those that would come onto the field in the last minute and just put on a boomer. Although her race pace always did supersede her qualifying pace. So, but again, you don't want to necessarily be starting all the way back in 26th if you are racing, you know. So we'll definitely have to look out for that. Not sure if she's facing any technical difficulties.
That might be the case, because I do not see Raven Plummer on the timing. And in
Right.
fact, so remember I said it was close to 30. Well, I see max 25 at the moment, and one person without a lap at all. So 26 total. So a couple of
Right.
people might have had some issues with the server. Who knows?
So let's look out. Because as a matter of fact, we do have our first time we have live stewarding in this evening's race, and we will be having it for the season. So very excited for what this is evolving to. So now we have a full commentary team. I can finally let my voice break and give the audience a break from my voice. And at the same time, we have live stewarding. So we do have the likes of our friend, our very dear friend Muchacho, who will be reaching out to the drivers live, and they will be presenting certain requests, and we will have a post-race stewarding system after to just make sure the season is as clean and prosperous as possible. But that being said, let's get right back into the qualifying session as we're riding along board with Jaden Harrison, who is on provisional pole. Mark, when did that happen? I did not notice, but there he is in that BMW M2. He did do a late change, and that looks like it should have been a cut. So, and I believe that is Rohir Robinson there, who is, I want to say teammate, but also his greatest rival. But as they are the only two Jamaicans in the top 4, at least you have 4 in the top 6. Who knows? Maybe they might get a little bit more friendly as the season goes and prolongs. So, yeah, good thing to look out for and watch.
You know, if that is a story we can develop across the season, I am here for it. That is exciting. The top Jamaicans in the field at the moment. They probably don't have any beef between each other, Stephen, but I reckon they will be fierce on the track regardless. Jaden Harrison might have done that in the last couple of laps or so because he wasn't there beforehand. It was Dominic Charles before that, so I reckon that was in the last couple of laps and we were just trying to get things sorted. So yeah, 55.3, that is a 2/10 lead at the moment, so that's very exciting. And like you said, Rohei Robinson right up the rear of him. He's getting the draft. Let's take a look on board. There we are, coming up to the bus stop. Or let me know if we should call it the Le Mans chicane, but I, just by historic, you know, by my muscle memory, I say the bus stop, because it's been so for so many years. Go through it just nicely. Make sure not to cut the track there because that will invalidate your lap. And I reckon this is going to be a pretty good lap from Rohei Robinson. 2 green sectors, a couple of purple mini sectors there if you look in the top right. So it breaks it down even further than just the sectors themselves. Coming up to the line. 1 minute and a half to go. Let's see the lap time. And it is 3rd position. So improvement, but not enough. And I think we saw Jaden Harrison go back to the pits there. Yes, we did. Exciting.
Was that a little bit of help from the Jamaican to the Jamaican?
It absolutely was.
Slipstreaming, that was done to the T. So clearly we're seeing strategy already being taken into account here in the first round, Mark. This is going to get very interesting very soon, but that does relegate Estefano to P4, but look at him setting a purple sector 3, but clearly not enough, about 6/10 or 600 down on the car in front of him in Rohei Robinson. There are 2 Trinidadian drivers, Dominic Charles and Mikhail Charles. No, ladies and gentlemen, they are not brothers, but they are countrymen, so we will continue to watch and see what they
big
can
cut.
do. And there's a big cut, maybe a little bit of commentator's curse in that mix.
First of many for the year, I'm sure.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Well, Estefano Barrera, I don't think they've completed Sector 1 yet, so we have to watch and see how they're doing, and it's not green, so we'll go off of them. Kurt Moss. Hey, I saw Kurt Moss a few weeks ago, or actually I think it was a couple months ago now, in Automobilista 2, and he was very quick then. We were in an LFM practice lobby together, or at least he denies it, but I think it was him. There's only one Kurt Moss in Jamaica, and he is looking to try and steal something here. Kimani Eastman improves as we go to zeros on the clock. Kimani Eastman to 10th. That is the furthest he will go. Who else do we have? Kurt Moss still going round the West Horseshoe, so we'll check back in with him. What about Barrera? Barrera with a cut there. That is not going to be an improvement. He'll finish 4th or lower. Who else do we have? Someone coming up behind. You got to be careful. Kyle Barrett coming on to the top 10 now. He's in 7th position, and it doesn't look like he's going to improve, but we'll have to see on his 3rd sector here. This is looking interesting. Jaden Harrison still 2/10 up. Let's see who's still running here as he crosses the line. Someone coming up behind. And that's 19th position. And 5th for Kyle Barrett. And the person behind improves to 17th position. That was Ruben Espinosa. Very few drivers left on the track now. It doesn't look likely they're going to improve. And DeVille Perk not going to improve. And who's this? Teswanto the Edge. Are they going to cross the line? There's only a couple drivers left on the track. And they cross the line here. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything substantial. No, a small improvement on the time nonetheless. 9th position, Daniel Velez. Hey, we had a little fun with Daniel Velez last year. We hope to have some more fun with him this year. Great guy. And he crosses the line, and P9 for him. So Jaden Harrison looks to take pole position here. And he's already out of the server. 155.3. That's his grid box. Pole position by 2/10 over Dominic Charles. What a fantastic lap time there for Jaden Harrison.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that does put two Jamaicans on the podium to start this race. One Trinidadian, and then we do have Colombian in Estefano Barrera in P4. Jaden Harrison is rejoining now, so the grid should be reshuffling and cleaning back up in a moment's time. But Estefano Barrera in P4, Cal Barrett now in P5, Mikhail Charles in P6, Kurt Moss in P7, Michael McNamee in P8, Daniel Velez in P9, and Kimani Eastman in P10 to top out the points positions for this, well, for the first qualifying session of the 2025 season. Omar Escorcia is in P11, Hans Castaneda in P12, Christian Gomez in P13, the Swiss driver in P14 of Roger Keller, Riley Curtis. Again, don't count him out just because of his qualifying position in P15. Mikhail Thompson in P16, Ruben Espinosa in P17. P18 does go to Nicholas Donald, John Singleton in P19, Samuel Cortez in P20, Rodrigo Sennewild in P21, DeVille Park in P22, Sashawn Falloon, he races in real life here in Jamaica in P23, to Swanto the Edge in P24, and Greg Forte, my apologies, rallies the grid in P25. Muchacho there in P26 is our live steward for this evening, as well as Mr. Well, let me say it correctly, Mr. Mark Ryu, as our lead commentator.
Yes, I have to be in here as well. That's just how it works. So yes, my name shows up there as well on the timing. Well, I see Raven Plummer back in the server. Wasn't in qualifying, but I see her on the timing tower, Stephen.
And I'm not seeing her.
Unless something happened. Oh, now I don't see anyone. So maybe I have to reset myself. I'm not sure. I don't see anyone. Maybe that's why it's showing that.
Well, the drivers are now out. It is a safety car start, so the drivers should be, well, right now just waiting for the moment for the lights to go out, and the leading safety car will be following. As a matter of fact, that is myself. I should have remembered.
So I hope I don't have to reload in, but I don't see the drivers. I'm wondering if we're in like the little waiting screen. I'm not sure.
On the track.
They're on the track? Okay.
Right.
I don't, so I might, oh, hang on. Can I click on them? No. Okay, well, for some reason it's not working, so I might have...
Where Oswin is.
Here we are.
Yeah,
now I
go.
see. I think for some reason something went a little bit wrong there, and I couldn't, for whatever reason, see the drivers.
It is an app, so I will apologize for that one.
That's okay. No, I should apologize because I'm the one controlling the cameras here. So there we are. There's the grid, and so yeah, for whatever reason the app is not working there. So anyway, continue on there, Stephen. Jaden Harrison, Dominic Charles, Rohei Robinson, who you see here up at the top. There goes the safety car, and people should start rolling away. Well, we're getting ready for race 1. The safety car is away. Jaden Harrison leading the field. Let's take a look at the grid here. We showed you the qualifying results. Let's take a look at the grid. Here's the safety car that we'll be using for this series. Always be at the front, controlling things for the start of the race. Here's Jaden Harrison, the 301. Leading the field away, Dominic Charles second place, then Rohei Robinson, we have Estefano Barrera, Kyle Barrett, Mikhail Charles, Michael McNamee, Kurt Moss, then we have Daniel Velez in there, Kimani Eastman, Omar Escorcia, Hans Castaneda, Christian Gomez, Riley Curtis, Nicholas Donald, Ruben Espinosa, Samuel Cortez, John Singleton, Rodrigo Senna Wild, Deville Park, Shason Falloon, Teswano The Edge, and Greg Forts. No Raven Plummer looks to be having some technical difficulties, even though it might show on the timing tower. So that is your starting grid for this race. Can you hear me okay, Stephen?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Are you ready for the start of this race? Race 1 of 2.
I am, and I'm seeing the cars rallying right behind me, and I'm sure they're itching to go. Jaden Harrison even giving me a slight little bump there to say, sir, please get it going. I'm going to raise the speed up to about 80 miles per hour just to give them a little bit of room to get some energy into those tires, or some heat, let me say. Because, you know, especially at the start of this race, it can be very daunting. Especially heading into turn 1, we did have to leave a little bit of extra warning there at the end of the driver briefing. So those drivers, I'm sure, will be answering to get away. I will be pulling away just so we can start getting on with the preparations for the commentary.
Grid slowing right up there, Stephen, as you, by the way, spoiler alert, is in the safety car and is getting ready to perk up. This is going to be so exciting. Jaden Harrison leading them through right now. It's the beginning of the 2025 JSRA CTCC season. We're going to several tracks around the world. We start here in Daytona Beach, Florida, for the first of 2 races, 20 minutes each. Get ready, it's about to get real. I can finally say, stand by for action. They go through Speedway Turn 4 now, getting ready to see the green flag from the starting line. Double wide here. Rolling start, and let's see if everyone can behave themselves going into turn 1. That is the real question, with partly cloudy skies here under Daytona. Not quite sunset yet, but getting darker. Alright, a couple 100 meters away. Let's get this thing started. Jaden Harrison, Dominic Charles coming up to the line. And waiting for the green, and we are away. Green flag here at Daytona. It's the 2025 CTCC season. Here we go into turn 1. Jaden Harrison on the inside, outside Dominic Charles. Everything fairly clean there. Nice and steady, no first corner accidents. Fantastic start from these drivers as we come into the International Horseshoe for the first time. Jaden Harrison almost a car's length away, and he is running beautifully. Looking behind, Dominic Charles, Rohei Robinson, couple of battles side by side as they come through the kink for the first time, and they manage it well. Dominic Charles keeping 3rd place nicely there. Mikhail Charles, looking interesting on the outside. I don't think he's going to have it there. No, he's not. Daniel Velez just behind there in 5th. As they come up to the banking, this is where they'll sort themselves out. We're getting ready to go through the bus stop for the first time of this race. Several laps. Everything looking fantastic from all the drivers. Stephen, what'd you think of that? Oh, I think we've lost Stephen's mic there for a sec. Coming up to the bus stop then. All braking hard. Who's going to make the corner? Everyone's going to make the corner. Fantastic. Going round Speedway turn 3 and 4 as we come to end the first lap. Everything looking good. Daniel Velez doing absolutely fantastic here on the first lap. All the way up to 6th position. Just trailing Mikhail Charles in the draft, looking for another position as we head back into turn 1. Rohei Robinson gets behind and Harrison puts in the first quickest lap of the race. We'll be monitoring that as well as we go across the 20 minutes. Little bit of a lockup from Daniel Velez and nearly off there. I think that was that was Rohei Robinson. Rohei Robinson putting a wheel on the grass there just outside of turn 1. Looking inside, he's not going to have a look there, that's for sure. Let's see who else is climbing the leaderboard. Christian Gomez says is up to 8th position. We also have side by side with Riley Curtis, and Riley Curtis already up to 8th. So it's not showing me on the timing tower, but Riley Curtis had a fairly poor qualifying performance, already into the top 10. And look how much they're turning the wheel there. They're really keeping it together, trying not to go too much on the limit of grip. You can spin it if you're too much on the accelerator pedal there. Fantastic BMWs. We got several car classes here tonight, not just BMWs. Oh, my apologies. Misclick there on the keyboard. Let's take a look. Jaden Harrison going through. Her for second lead. They are doing as much cutting there as they can of the bus stop. Really, really close. Let's take a look at John Singleton up to 12th. Oh, and a couple of cuts behind. Looking real dicey with Castaneda, Cortez and Perk. Everyone getting into a rhythm now, sorting themselves out. Estefano Barrera, 56.3. That will be the quickest lap so far.
And Mark, I am back. I did have to jump into the race just to make sure everything was going as smoothly as possible, and it was a very clean start for the most part. There was an incident there at the back, but you know, the safety car conditions is for 3 or more to come in contact. It was an incident between 2 drivers. But that being said, the battles are all around. I'm loving the grid right now. From, let's say, about P14 all the way up. Rohei Robinson has been hounding the likes of Dominic Charles. Estefano made a quick move up the grid though, as well as Mikhail Charles and Daniel Velez. Daniel now in P5, started in what, P8 if I remember correctly, and is already making his way through. So that Nova Racing team has 2 in the top 5. JSRA has 2. So there's 2 Colombians, 2 Trinidadians, and 2 Jamaican drivers here this evening. Very excited to see what is to come, sir.
You know, I was mentioning as you were fixing your microphone there, Riley Curtis is up to 9th position already. You want to talk about the ones that have gained the most. Riley Curtis has done just that and looking very, very dangerous there.
And he, again, is somebody that you're definitely going to want to enjoy keeping abreast of throughout the race. We did do a little preseason race, but that is Kimani Easton right there on the end of that BMW N2. And you know, Kimani, I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, I did get a little bit of racing here this preseason just to make sure that, you know, I could enjoy myself and what the fruits of what we're trying to do, get as much testing as possible. But Kimani Eastman, my quote-unquote friend, was one of my biggest enemies. Just thwarted me in every situation, just did not want me to pass, and was making it very very hard. So I guess because of the stewarding that was done in the past, he decided that he was going to make it a little bit too hard for me. But there you see him on the outside of Riley Curtis. He's going to try to stick along there. Looks and takes a look on the inside. But Riley there with that rear wheel drive does go a little bit later. And there goes Kimani Eastman to move up to P9. And now Riley has the likes of Ruben Espinosa in his rear view mirror and the Jamaican of Kimani Eastman. So who will come out victorious? Mark, what are your thoughts, man?
Oh, fantastic move by Eastman. I have to say, you called it perfectly. Kimani doing what he knows best, and that's his overtakes. Kimani looking, by the way, lovely with that livery, I must say, going up onto the bankings, putting a great move on, and Espinosa behind, also looking to gain off of that on Riley Curtis, and it looks like he'll have to make it done maybe at the end of the lap. He's not, I don't think, going to have enough into the bus stop, but we'll have to see. They're all, like you said, they're trailing from about 11th down to 17th, 18th, or even 20th, I see on the track map. They're all together.
Look at P4 to P3. There is an absolute battle between Estefano, Dominic Charles, and Romeo Robinson. Took an opportunity and went around the outside. So now the little bit of side draft and the well, I'm gonna assume a little bit of bump drafting now just to get away.
It is.
Jamaican. But this battle is absolutely epic.
Look at Dominic Charles going through with Estefano Barrera. This is fantastic. And Rohei Robinson being left out to dry, it seems. Robinson down to 4th there. And that is absolutely fantastic teamwork, as long as that's legal. You can't do that in MX5 Cup in IMSA, let's say. Or at least not excessive bump drafting. But here in CTCC, you can do whatever you like, as long as you don't crash them out. So, fantastic teamwork.
What's great, this is not teamwork, that's the Trinidadian of Dominic Charles and Estefano. So not necessarily, well, I guess a little bit of teamwork just in terms of defense, but just brilliant strategy from Estefano to just say, hey, if you're not going to get this position on me here, but, you know, use up the opportunity in the best way possible, and that does help him to defend against the likes of Rohei Robinson, because trust me, what I saw happening was a move on the way ready to be taken, but the three are now, well, slowly being reeled in by the likes of Daniel Velez and Gail Charles. So this is beautiful for Jaden Harrison, as he's taking his opportunity to just, as I'm saying, Jamaica take over self and get away from the pack. So this is absolutely brilliant.
And a little bump there as we head to the bus stop. Oh, be careful, Estefano. That is almost ground for trouble, but they managed to keep it clean. And what I meant by teamwork, by the way, was they're working together to get to the front. Doesn't matter which team you're really on, as long as by the time you get to the end of the race, you're in it to win it. That's teamwork in my view.
Absolutely. All right, fair enough. And that is cooperating, because there is it again with the bump drafting. So Estefano literally just pushing and inching Dominic Charles there to get us close to Jaden Harrison. And believe me, the bump draft does help here, especially at Daytona in these cars. But that does look like he maybe went in with a little bit too much speed there and had to catch himself. But they are closing in on the likes of Jaden Harrison, but Rohei is still there to help his countryman out. But there goes Estefano on the inside.
Oh! Round the outside to take it back. Is he going to be able to do it? Dominic Charles, I think he has kept it, yes. And Rohei Robinson also looking to get through. And he will at the kink. Wow, fantastic. Oh!
Line up the top three. I do apologize. It was the inside, not the outside. That Estefano went, well, tried to make the move, but there he goes.
Robinson again. Robinson, I mean, we have to look at the bonnet view for a second, because look at this. Barrera, Charles, Robinson all together looking to get to the front, but they're not doing a great job of it. If they work together, they can catch Jaden Harrison up 3.6 seconds already, but they nearly binned it there. They really need to be careful, but it makes for some, just amazing interesting action here as they come up to the bus stop. Let's watch them again. Are they going to brake nicely? Yes, they are, one by one. It really is single file, the bus stop. You absolutely cannot go too wide there and not expect a crash. It's very difficult to do in real life. In sim racing, it's borderline impossible as Rohei Robinson goes to the outside looking for the side draft. Is he going to be able to do it in this Chevrolet? He might. It's right in front. And now Dominic Charles is well ahead. Estefano Barrera fighting Rohei, and they still go side by side into turn one. Look at this.
And elbows are definitely out. A lot of respect between these two drivers as well, as you can see. But there, who is late on the brakes? Estefano is, and will Rohei try and go for the switcheroo? No, he cannot. Tries to get a better exit, but closed off immediately by Estefano. The Colombian just saying no sir. But what's crazy is before this multitude of attacks, and they're still going side by side. But yeah, before
Lock up for Rohei.
2.7 seconds was the gap between Dominic and Jaden Harrison. That gap has extended to 4.5 seconds, Mark. So this battle is just working in Jaden's favor. But yes, this is absolutely epic.
I have to agree, absolutely epic first race so far, as we're more than halfway through lap 8 here of the race. Jaden Harrison, like you said, he is just going ahead. He is doing absolutely fantastic. His best lap actually was the previous, a 1:55.908. So he is doing fantastic with that. Dominic Charles is almost a full second behind that. Oh, off the track, Barrera. I think, was that Barrera? It was, I think it was. Yes, it was. And that means Rohei Robinson is on the side of him again. They're coming out at Speedway Turn 4, and I think that mistake is going to allow the purple car through. We'll have to see. He has to side draft all the way to the line. You have to use a bit of the boost. Remember, 15 seconds per lap. You get a boost here, new on the cars for this season. So remember that. I forgot to say that in the intro, I believe, but that is very important here. And another lockup, but Rohei does get through. He has to watch his tires there. Rohei back to third, Barrera back to fourth, and Daniel Velez behind them in fifth, also looking to join the battle.
This is what a show for the first race this is, Mark. And please be reminded that the top 10 will be reversed at the end of this 6.5 minute mark. So please stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. If you think the action is so hot right now, imagine these 4, these 5, these 6 drivers heading through the top 10 to gain back and see how far they can get in this field. Please also be reminded, I don't think we mentioned it, but we have implemented from the last season, the one right before the end of last season, the success ballast. So the likes of Jaden Harrison will be starting back from P10 if he does finish in P1, and that would be starting with 60 kilograms. So that's going to be a heavy load here, especially on a track. Slipstream is going to be his best friend, as well as that hybrid that he did mention not too long ago. But wow, what a race this has been.
I absolutely agree, and it looks like Dominic Charles is slipping even further behind now. He's not right in the battle with Rohei at the moment, but they have been battling together for so long that it's just helped Jaden Harrison get a monstrous lead here in the dying laps of the race. Again, nearly 2 minutes a lap, so we're only a little more than 2 laps from the end. Remember, it is plus a lap, so when we hit zeros, they cross the line and it will be the white flag then. So remember that it does not end at zeros. You have to do one more lap after that. This is interesting, and looks like we have some lap traffic coming up. Greg Forte, unfortunate for him, he had an incident early on in the race which unfortunately didn't get documented. We were so busy with the other action. He is about to get lapped. And if he does, well, he has the blue flag. He has to let them by, and he would cross the line after the leader, so he would probably finish a lap behind. And it looks like it's a when, not if that happens at the end of the race. Unfortunate for him there.
Jaden had a nice little slide there on the exit. It touched a little bit of the curb, and the car did go a little bit sideways. What's funny is Jaden did change to the BMW M2 at the last minute. He was struggling with the front wheel drive car and had said, hey, let me try this out, and found favor in it. So clearly the right move, but that gap is slowly coming down though, Mark. No, it was 5 seconds. Maybe that slide that I saw did bring it down to about 3.5 seconds. So we'll continue to monitor that to see what comes of it. But maybe not enough time, but one mistake, anything can happen. But that is not what I'm going to do tonight to start the season with any form of a commentator's curse. And we'll just continue to watch and ride along board to see what is to come. I'm browsing through to see if there's any battles right now. John Singleton is in the slipstream of Ruben Espinosa. Still looking through to see if there's any immediate battles that we could be watching, but right now the race looking like the drivers have slightly, I don't want to say plateaued, but maybe this is their moment to just kind of drop their shoulders a little bit. And who is that, Greg? For
it looks like we have Rohei coming up on Dominic here into turn 1. Rohei locking up the left rear again. This is a problem now for Rohei. He's got to keep it good, or else he's going to possibly go off the track and end his race. He's looking. He's not going to have it this time on Dominic, but he is poking his nose in there. Oh, no! Oh, what's happening there? Who is that? Is lap traffic? Or I don't know who that is.
I believe that's Greg.
I think that is Greg. He was guessing in it. Wow, that was almost a big accident, but Rohei and Dominic Charles get through just fine. Whoa, that was close.
I won't lie, my heart did skip a beat for a second there.
I have to say, I was unprepared to see that. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sure this is a moment where Greg, I'm betting you money, is hoping that he was wearing some brown pants.
We want to take a look back at P8, Christian Gomez and some of the folks behind, John Singleton even. They're in quite a battle as well. Again, this is for the final placement for money. Money. $7, I believe it is, for P10. So it means something. John Singleton, he's not far
P8.
behind. P8, excuse me. Well, anyway, Christian Gomez then and Kimani Eastman, that's going to be what we're looking at then for the money. That's exciting. Trying to get, well, even then, trying to get the highest position possible, right, Stephen?
Exactly.
It's reverse grid for the top 10, and if you're just below P10, then you'll be in your placement as you finish for race 2, and you want to try and work with the leaders in race 2 to get the best finish possible then for that race.
Absolutely. And just to bring to your attention quickly, Daniel Velez and Mikhail Charles are also fighting
Yes.
for P5 and P6, and the two are going side by side by turn 1 as the two.
Oh, he locked up! He locked up Daniel Velez on the rear right, and he kept the position, but that must have been horrible for his tyres. Oh boy, that was close.
That was terrifying.
I have yet to see someone go fully on the grass there for turn 1, but that's going to happen soon, I bet you. Oh my goodness.
Well, let's not, well, especially the second in the reverse grid. Let's see what will come to fruition, because, and there is Mikhail Charles getting very racy, looking like he wants to make that position 6. Looks like he might get the run, and the two, how would you say, are alongside. And Daniel there was trying his best to close out the track down and did an impeccable job to defend against. But will Mikhail Charles get the better run?
the door is being shut absolutely immediately by Mr. Daniel Velez, and again goes around the outside is Mr. Mikhail Charles, as they will be heading down now to the bus stop, or I think you call it Le Mans Corner.
Le
But
Mans
yes, there you
chicane
go.
sometimes.
Le Mans chicane.
Yeah.
My apologies, but no, I will tell you, this is one of the scariest things on this track, to try and go side by side through the chicane, and there goes Mikhail Charles, and the likes of Daniel Velez goes very slightly and loses that position and is now in the sights of Michael McNamee, who I'm sure is hoping just for one touch of the grass from the Colombian driver, but that looks like a move done with us now in overtime. So we do have one
One
lap
more.
to
Yes.
go.
One more lap. You're absolutely right. White flag for Jaden Harrison. He's already passed it into turn one. So that means you cross the line this time, and it is the checkered flag. This is huge for Jaden Harrison. He's looking for that big, sweet money, and he's of course looking to win for his country as well, as always. Jaden Harrison, one of the best drivers here at the JSRA, and he is proving it again tonight here in race one of the brand new season. Nearly 6 second lead on Dominic Charles, where Rohei Robinson is still looking to grab second place there. All around the outside, I don't think he's going to get it, and Estefano Barrera is in the mix now, Stephen.
Ooh.
Down
And
to the
feeling it
banking
right
again.
now.
Down to the banking again. We have 3 of them in the mix. I didn't hear what you said there, Stephen. I do apologise, but look at these 3. They're gonna go through the bus stop one more time, and we're gonna be able to find out who gets the last of the podium positions here for CTCC Race 1. Rohei Robinson, Dominic Charles, Estefano Barrera. Here is the big moment coming up to the bus stop, the Le Mans chicane, whatever you like to call it. And Rohei Robinson through cleanly, and they touch. Dominic Charles, Estefano Barrera, and someone off the track there. I think that was Barrera. It was Barrera. He's in third. I don't know if Dominic Charles is going to have enough though. Dominic Charles coming up to the line. Is he going to be able to take it? I'm trying to get my view.
Just finish to pass and win this race. We can go back to Rohei Robinson and Estefano
Dominic
now.
Charles 4th place in the end. 4th place in the end. Robinson 2nd. What a drive by Rohei Robinson. Barrera 3rd, even though he went off the track. What a race. And Jaden Harrison winning the first race of the year by a good 8 seconds at the line. Jaden Harrison, your winner of race 1 of the CTCC in 2025.
Absolutely epic, Mark. I'm going to go and rally the troops for the reverse grid, so I will be right back. But what a battle this has been. An amazing job by the drivers. I am so excited for what is to come in the next few moments.
Jaden Harrison with his first win of the year. Unbelievable. Do some donuts, Jaden, or a little drift through the corner. That's just as good, I have to be honest. Rohei Robinson, what a drive. As low as 4th place in that battle there. Worked all the way up to 2nd at the line. Fantastic drive from the purple car. And Estefano Barrera, unfortunate there, but he still finished on the podium at the end. He can still be incredibly happy, and he has a lot of impressive company with him. It's not an easy victory in these cars, so he will be looking again on the reverse grid for a victory in race 2, but honestly a top 3 to start off is no joke, no problem. Very impressed myself. Fantastic. So Dominic Charles 4th position as they go and pick up some virtual rubber. Mikhail Charles will be 5th place in the end. Fantastic race for him. Daniel Velez worked all the way up to 6th. A fantastic drive, should be noted. Christian Gomez 7th. Michael McNamee Not Michael McNamee, it's Michael McNamee in 8th position. Well done to him. Kearney Eastman 9th in the fantastic livery there. Ruben Espinosa in 10th. Kyle Barrett 11th. Then John Singleton worked his way up to 12th. Not bad for him. Omar Escorcia in 13th. Then we got Samuel Cortez 14th. Kurt Moss 15th. Roger Keller in 16th. Unfortunate race for Riley Curtis. Worked his way up to the top 10, but then fell back again. Must have had an incident there that we missed. Finished 17th position. DeVille Park 18th. Hearns Castaneda coming into their pit box 19th, and then a couple of folks here at the end. Rodrigo Seno Wild 20th, then Nicholas Donald 21st, Mikhail Thompson 22nd, Taswanto The Edge 23rd, Shashawn Falloon 24th, and one lap down, rounding out the grid in 25th, Greg Forte. What a race. Jaden Harrison, the quickest lap of the race of 55.623. A great drive from Jaden Harrison. Well done. There they are there on the Daytona logo. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I'm just bringing the drone view over, boys. Please do give me a second, because it does take some adjusting. Hopefully the server doesn't reset. There they are. Oh, lovely. The lovely Daytona logo, the lovely infield. And there they are right there. Oh, just reset I was coming on in. But fantastic, fantastic race from them. Hoping to get a close-up shot. So that's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and see if we can find the drivers again. They should be gridding up shortly. Yes, they're in their pit box waiting for race 2, getting their setup loaded again. Race 2, 20 minutes again, coming up in just a short couple moments here on the JSRA YouTube channel and the Mercury 045 Twitch channel. Reverse top 10 reminder. So Jaden Harrison starting 10th for race number 2. I don't know why, but my microphone is not working in the Discord. I have no idea why. Let me try and maybe refresh that. There it is. So possibly he couldn't hear me. I'm not sure, but there we are. Let's take a look at the chat and see what everyone's saying. Reactions. Nate still plays. Hello, welcome on in. Says likewise work. Looking hectic for 2025 for me. I don't know what's going on. Well, welcome on in to the JSRA CTCC, the Caribbean Touring Car Championship. I hope you enjoyed race 1. That was fantastic racing. Ray Fergs saying that was an exciting finish. I agree wholeheartedly. Folks talking about work. Lots of great friends. What else do we have? Hardware failure for Estefano was apparently said earlier. Oh, I see. Okay. That explains a little bit of that. I don't know about Raven Plummer, though. What happened to her? So yes, thank you so much everyone for watching on both of these platforms here tonight. The safety car here at the back, and for some reason I'm also on the grid. I shouldn't be. Oh, you know what? I'll just let the auto start do its thing. We have this lovely mod for Assetto Corsa. It's called Auto Start System, and it brings you right to the pit, so that's I'm out of the way of everyone else. Or at least that's how it's supposed to work anyway. Hopefully that's done that, but who knows. So we are getting ready here. You might see it start a couple of times. Don't worry, that is normal. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new starting grid. And it starts with Ruben Espinosa, it seems. Ruben Espinosa in the 310 car there. Then Kimani Eastman second. Michael McNamee will start in third. Christian Gomez starting in fourth. Daniel Velez in fifth. Rohei Robinson sixth. Mikhail Charles seventh. Dominic Charles in eighth. Estefano Barrera in ninth. And Jaden Harrison in 10th position. That's your reverse grid for you. The rest of this goes as normal. Omar Escorcia, Kyle Barrett, John Singleton, Samuel Cortez, Kurt Moss, Roger Keller, DeVille Perk, and my apologies as the safety car goes on through. I will continue from where that is. As everyone gets away, DeVille Perk, then Nicholas Donald, Mikhail Thompson, then we got, well, Nicholas Donald was already said, but next up was Shishorn Falloon and Greg Forte rounding out at the end. So they're all rolling away off the grid. Forte took a couple extra seconds, but that's no problem at all. They'll come on through for another warm-up lap. Each race has a warm-up lap here in the JSRA before going to green at the end of it. Taking a look at the weather here in Daytona. We have a little thing for it, which is pretty cool. There it is. It is 20 degrees actually now in the air. It was 22 earlier. 21 on the track. Humidity 70% here tonight. And the wind 12 kilometers an hour. And coming from the southwest, that is. Thank you to our weather sources for that. Got to love the sound of those engines as they come round. By the way, thank you again to the sponsors of tonight's show, Ceramicare. Thank you so very much. Thank you to the JSRA as always. And 7 Mile. Thank you to 7 Mile for your sponsor. Next Marketing Solutions, A876 Boilers, and so much more. Thank you so very much for your support. Oh, and we have a crash on the banking. On the warm-up lap, we have a crash from several drivers. I don't know who caused it. I was busy looking at the sponsors. And that's going to shake everything up. I wonder if they're going to do another lap round. Or if they're going to go. I'm not sure. Stephen will have to do the verdict on that. He's the one driving the safety car. Unbelievable, boys. He couldn't even make it a lap round. They're just so excited for race 2 that they made a little oopsie and little crash there in in the Speedway Turn 2 corner. Well, through the bus stop we go. It looks like we are going. I don't see any indications that we're not. But we'll have to watch and see here. Good news is I am in the pit lane. I was wondering if my car might be in the way, but it's not, thankfully. Well, it looks like Stephen has gone to the apron, so it looks like we are going to have a start here. Couple of cars starting with damage from the little skerfuffle here on the warm-up lap. So, here we go. Race 2 of 2 for the CTCC. Round 1 tonight. First of 8 rounds for the CTCC in the early part of 2025. Going all the way to late March. Finishing off in Australia at Albert Park. So here we go as they come to the starting line. Ready for the green flag. Ruben Espinosa leading them away here in the white car. Waiting, waiting, waiting. And green flag, off they go, and we have a spin at the back. Oh, and a big crash at the back at the very beginning. Someone spun as they were bringing up the revs, and we'll have to see who that was. Way, way, way at the back. Ruben Espinosa going through, and it looks like they've sorted it out now, but oh my goodness, a huge shunt at the very back of the pack on the start. I think Greg Forte was involved in that for sure. Oh my goodness, and I think someone actually went to the pits. I don't know who that was, but that was extremely unfortunate. Espinosa leading it away clean, Gomez second, and Velez in third. Velez with a good start, with Michael McNamee, behind in fourth. Going round the West Horseshoe. Everything looking good there. We might have some very good battles. Jaden Harrison starting 10th after the win in race 1. If you just missed it, Harrison won race 1 and on the reverse grid started in 10th position. And up onto the high banks they go. They're going to start bump drafting again. This is going to be quite interesting. I think it was Riley Curtis. Riley Curtis was the one. Unless my timing tower is deceiving me, along with Rodrigo Sano Wild. We'll have to see if they're in the race or not. But something happened at the back. Through they go the bus stop. Christian Gomez looking good there. They do take a big cut on the exits of the bus stop there. I guess that's legal, otherwise they would have already received a penalty. So looking on the outside is Christian Gomez. Take a look on the inside of his BMW, and well, it looks like he's going off the power. I'm not sure. It looks like he lifted off and he let Ruben Espinosa take that on lap 1. That is interesting. Well, in they go, finishing the first lap, and I see a penalty. I see a penalty. I can't see what it's for. I think it's for the edge. It's for the edge. Stop and go. 10 seconds for speeding. I don't know what's going on now. Now I think they're all slow. Do we have a safety car? This feels slower than normal. Is the safety car out? No, it's not. Safety car is not out. It just appeared to be that way. Maybe this is... maybe that's just me going crazy. I don't know, but... no, they are continuing. I thought they had slowed up. I was thinking, oh, maybe they called yellow. But... I'm not getting official race control messages, so I don't know what exactly has been said. No, everyone has slowed up. I think we are under a safety car. Stephen, are you there? Give us the verdict. What has happened? No, Stephen is not there. Okay, we'll have to wait for Stephen to come back. They have indeed slowed down. My intuition was correct. We are under safety car conditions following that hectic lap 1 start. My goodness. And Nate still plays said in the chat a minute ago, Jaden could crash twice and still win top 3. He's just that quick, isn't he? Well, I don't know what's happened, but the safety car is not out. Unless it's my car that I was looking at, maybe it is out. Let me see if I can find JSRA. Are they out? No, they're not. So I'm not sure what has happened. Someone got a drive-through. Someone got a drive-through, and I'm trying to find out who that was. Let's take a look behind us, because that's a pretty cool view. Look at that. I do have the live timing. Thank you, by the way, to GT Panama for providing live timing tonight. I'm going to see if the chat says anything. Well, I cannot see anything in the chat, so I'm not sure. Not sure what has happened. It's possible something got triggered on real penalty and maybe I didn't see it. That is one possibility. Oh, my apologies for clicking the wrong thing there. Little bit finicky, the key bindings here, so my apologies for that. Well, we still have 15 minutes to go in this race. So it looks like they're back up to speed now, but I'm not really sure what has happened. I perhaps saw a virtual safety car and didn't realise it. I'm not exactly sure, but we're back underway now. It looks like we're full speed. Ruben Espinosa leading it away, so it looks like they're back to green flag conditions. I think that was a virtual safety car by real penalty. That's my intuition. Now looking for a purse, Michael McNamee. We've got a whole bunch of people on the tail of Ruben Espinosa as they come through the kink now. McNamee is in the lead of the race. Incredible. What a fantastic restart from him. Espinosa behind, and then we got Gomez in third, and Velez is also looking for something. Mikhail Charles looking for something. They're all together here as they come back onto the high banks of Daytona International Speedway. Looks like we're all together now. We are green. Yes, we are indeed green. I'm here in the commentary booth on Discord, and Stephen is not. So usually I get that info from Stephen, but he's sorting something out at the moment, it appears. McNamee into the bus stop, and oh, that's going to be a track cut. That is indeed a track cut for McNamee. Well off on the grass, all four wheels. Have to be careful about that, that's for sure. Christian Gomez side by side with Daniel Velez. Velez not going to have it here, but he is looking to maybe bump draft, maybe looking to get the overtake. He is right there. Really, really, really close. Field spread out after 13th. We'll take a look at that in a sec. Kurt Moss getting the quickest lap to begin, but we haven't had many racing laps yet. That will change soon for sure.
I'm sorry, but Mikhail Charles, I am back, ladies and gentlemen, but Mikhail Charles just lost 3 positions in one corner to Jaden Harrison, Estefano Barrero, and Omar Escorcio. So that was a very interesting moment there. The beginning of this race was a little bit hectic in comparison.
That was insane. There were so many crashes.
Right, and that is something that we've noticed quite some time, and they're again a little bit more touching between Jaden and Daniel. Daniel with his elbows out there trying to slow down Mr. Harrison, but Mr. Harrison did not relinquish a second as the two go side by side now, and they head down now into the oval. Whew. Okay, I'm tired.
Now, did we have a virtual safety car there, Stephen? Because
Yes.
we weren't sure what was going on.
I'm so sorry I couldn't come and inform you quickly, but yes, we had to have a safety car there, and even some drivers were not in the room at the time, so we had to make some quick changes.
Ah.
So that's what prolonged it a little bit sooner.
I
And then we
didn't see the safety car come out though. I thought it was only virtual because I just saw them all slow up and whoa, really wide by Velez. I just saw them slow up and I was like, wait a second, is that for sure full throttle? Because it didn't look like it, and then we eventually found out what was going on.
Right, and I do apologize for that. We'll get things underway. As I said, we do have live streaming, so we are well, this was their first experience here, so we're just throwing them the ropes, and then we will get back into the action more and more as the race prolongs, and they will get more into it as we learn more and more. But that being said, there's a battle for P3, P4, P5. It's from P1 all the way down to about P10 is the battles. Kurt Musno is also in the mix, so this is very much no way. And wow, this is looking a little bit tight.
This is absolutely razor thin. Look at the middle of this top 10 here. This is absolutely fantastic side-by-side racing the whole entire lap. This is exactly what you want to see out of the CTCC, as someone made an evasive maneuver and someone pushed wide. That's Gomez pushed wide as they go into the West Horseshoe. My goodness, you have to be careful on the brakes there, gentlemen. That's going to be a big crash otherwise, and the penalty. And
That was extremely late. On the brakes.
extremely late on the brakes for sure, and that virtual safety car is the result of this close racing right now. We got Stephen.
Absolutely, and again, we try our best not to release that safety car if we don't need to, but as we said, 3 or more vehicles, and there was a big group of 5 vehicles. There is Jaden Harrison pulling to the left.
Kurt Moss is weaving all about the track there, looking for something, anything. Mikhail Charles behind, also battling. Look at this as they all go through. Back to back to back to back. It just keeps on going, this freight train. Absolutely fantastic by everyone here. And Jaden Harrison, no surprise, already up to P5. Started P10 on the reverse grid. Just absolutely fantastic. Oh, P3, excuse me, yes, because my timing tower is a little bit off. P3 for Jaden Harrison.
If you don't mind, could you share back your screen?
Yes,
Exactly
because whatever reason Discord kind of lagged out before, so it
gotcha.
yes, my apologies.
That's fine, man. We're working out the kinks, and as we've seen tonight, kinks are supposed to work out, but there is Jaden Harrison there hunting down for P2, right there behind, but Estefano loses out to his countryman Omar Escortia. So the 3-4 Colombians now chasing down the Jamaican. And we have another Jamaican, Mr. Michael McNamee, holding on for dear life with 8.5 minutes remaining. There goes Jaden with a dive down the inside. And there was contact between himself and the Colombian, so I'm sure we'll hear, that was Ruben. So I'm sure we'll hear about that in the stewarding room at some point. But nonetheless, the battle is still on and the hunt is still on. At this point, maybe he might think there's a possibility of a penalty. Now is the point now to get away. He has 8.5 seconds to remove himself from the cars behind him if there is a penalty to come at the discretion of the stewards. But that being said, what a battle this has been, and what is happening?
What an excellent battle indeed, as well, look at that, Jaden Harrison defending his position into the bus stop. Another one going wide. Surely that has to be a track cut there. I mean, maybe it isn't, maybe they're very lenient, but I've seen multiple drivers off at the bus stop, all 4 tyres on the grass.
Well, how it works, Mark, is you have 5 track cuts. If you come off of the power and relinquish your advantage, it won't count as a track cut, mainly because you will gain or get back that advantage. So
4 wide.
If they do go, wow.
Oh, we have a hit! And Kurt Moss is off! Kurt Moss is off! And someone off it! Oh, Velez is off! Oh, the big hit! A big hit for Kurt Moss! And he might be out of the race! He is! Kurt Moss is out of race 2! Oh my goodness! We couldn't see the whole thing exactly, but there was a spin, and then someone couldn't get out of the way, and right into him it looked like it was. Big shunts, and that's the end of Kurt Moss's race. Oh my goodness. Obviously, the stewards will be looking at that, Stephen. Did you see what happened more so than me?
I'm just looking at the replay myself, and it looked... Let me try and describe what had happened to you. I wasn't even watching your stream, my apologies. But as you said, it was 4 wide between...
well, there's 4 wide in...
Yeah. Going into turn 1, not best or smartest move, if we're being honest. But unfortunate there for Kurt, and always tears to see that happening, especially here at the JSRA. We don't expect to see it, but anyways, that being said, we will take a look at it in the post-race joy as we take a look back where we another hit! Kyle Barrett with a big hit into the bus stop,
And I think that's Christian Gomez who was on the receiving end of that, and he nearly unsafely rejoined. My goodness. Hurgy-burgy here in the second half of race 2. Oh my goodness, what action.
I will tell you, Mark, it's such a... Oh, well, let me not even interrupt your battle.
Kyle
right here
Barris
as
again.
Roger
Yes,
Robinson.
Kyle Barris
Yes.
again as they cross the line with, I think that's Mikhail Charles, Rohei Robinson in the purple, and another hit! Another hit! And that was Mikhail. Yes, Mikhail Charles off. And that is just more unfortunate events for these drivers in turn 1 and the bus stop here in race 2. They're all looking for the money. They're all looking for the glory, and tears are being tears are being my goodness, Mikhail Charles. I'll just let you say, Stephen. That was unlike him, I have to say. But tears streaming down the face of all these drivers.
Well, again, I think Mikhail was on the receiving end. I'm not exactly sure what had happened there. But what I don't know what to say. The most I can say is we did notice this in the preseason testing. The reverse grids tend to be a little bit more dramatic, to say the least. So we are seeing a very good example of that here tonight. So we do have the endurance events where that's more of a 1 hour, 1 race sprint to the finish, but you don't have the 2 sprint races. Instead, you have 1, and that's where pit stop strategy does come into play, because the fuel cannot last the full hour unless you do some really good fuel saving strategies. So that's something that we can look forward to in the very near future. Those races really got exciting, especially nearing to the end, where you saw a lot of the pit strategies coming into play, and drivers even messing up their pit stop strategy, which relinquished their lead. So that is something that you can look forward to in the very near future. But yeah, that being said, what we've seen tonight, as we see Jaden Harrison on the inside of Michael McNamee.
Oh, Michael McNamee went wide. Yeah, he went wide. I'm sorry to cut you off there, Stephen. Michael McNamee went wide, and he's relinquished, or not relinquished, but he's given up the lead to Jaden Harrison. But now I think he's looking again on the inside, and they touch. I think that's the 2 teammates. They touch. And Jaden Harrison goes through again. Oh, excuse me, not teammates, but Jaden Harrison now. Oh, this is so incredibly close. Harrison coming into the West Horseshoe, defending with all his might. 2.5 minutes to go. McNamee and Omar Escorcia together. The liveries just look similar. That's all it was. But Jaden Harrison, he went and took that lead in turn 1 as McNamee went way too deep. Miscalculation, and I can't believe this. Jaden Harrison looking for a back-to-back here on round 1, the first week back, the new series. Jaden Harrison absolutely flying.
But look at Estefano now, right there in the side draft of Michael McNamee, who was in P1 at the start of this lap, now is relinquishing 3-4 positions, and I'm sure he'll be beating himself, but we know he's a patient driver. He will be strategic, especially getting the best exit as he can possibly get on the Colombian. There he goes, taking a look, even does a little bit of a bounce. This says, sir, this is my position, and now the 2 are going to be fighting it out, but there goes Estefano to close that gap and procure that position, and is now even hunting down the likes of Ruben Espinosa and his countryman Omar right there in front of him. But there are 3, 4, 5 BMWs in the top 5, and what a battle this has become.
Crossing the line, 2 laps to go, and it looks like we might have a move on the outside. Oh, it's very close, but it looks like Harrison will keep it. Oh, and a little bit of a miscalculation. Omar Escorcia nearly into the back of Jaden Harrison, nearly spinning himself, but he kept it together. Look at this, they're nearly 3 wide into the International Horseshoe. This is absolutely fantastic racing. just keeping it together, and Estefano Barrera up to second position on that. Michael McNamee all the way back to fourth already. He was first. This is incredible. This is just like Mazda MX-5 Cup and all other single make racing. Ah, there's a spin. There's a spin for McNamee. McNamee is spun with the contacts. Oh my goodness.
What
No.
a turn of events with 27 seconds remaining in this race. And Mark, I always like to point this out that Jaden Harrison did start this race in P10 with 60 kilograms of ballast and has to fight and make his way through. So very long race. Dominic Charles, who did lose out in the start of the race, is now sitting in P9 as well. So thank God he's made his way back up as at least in points positions to secure as many points. There is one drop race for the season, so you know, at this point you want to capitalize as best as possible just in case of any other event. We have 7 more rounds to go. Next week is Watkins Glen, but there is Jaden Harrison and Estefan Barrera in P1, P2, Amar in P3. So it's 4 Colombians right there behind Jaden Harrison. Calvert has been the sleeper agent, finding himself in P6.
Wow,
Right
fantastic. So McNamee back to 12th after the incident. He's going to be well out of the 10th place, 8th place, excuse me, cutoff for the money. This is absolutely unbelievable racing, unbelievable action, but a lot of stewards' decisions to come, that's for sure. Jaden Harrison with 1 lap to go. He's on the white flag lap, looking for a back-to-back. The Jamaican, who is incredibly fast, incredibly good at his racecraft, in the blue and yellow. I think that's a Eiffel Blitz car there, that BMW. Fantastic racing, and he just has a little bit over half a lap to go to take it.
This is an amazing opportunity as well, Mark. Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to our Instagram at the end of this race to vote your driver of the day, your moment of the day as well. We'd love to hear your thoughts so we can see if we can get some highlights to you and to get the action consistent to draw more persons. So please send in your votes. Who is your driver of the day? Jaden Harrison was one to watch. So was Estefana Barrera. So was Dominic Charles. So was Rohit Robinson from that first race. But ladies and gentlemen, what a battle it has been so far.
And also Michael McNamee, right up until that incident, also was in the running for that. And so there is multiple choices you can choose for that driver of the day. So please choose now on the JSRA Instagram, and we'll be letting you know the results of that poll at the end of the race.
And just in case anybody didn't know, the Instagram is at JSRA Official. But right now is a great time, the best time as many, to take a look at Mr. Jaden Harrison as he comes across the line to finish his race. Double sweep with P1 in race 1 and race 2, followed by Mr. Estefana Barrera in P2, who was very much so under attack by his teammate Omar Escocia, who came in P3, Daniel Velez in P4, Camber in P5, Rohit Robinson in P6, Dominic Charles, a lot of damage limitation there, coming in P7, Kimani Eastman in P8, Michael McNamee in P9, and Mikhail Charles to round off the points positions in P10, Samuel Cortez in P11, Christian Gomez in P12, Ruben Espinosa in P13, John Singleton in P14, Nicholas Donald in P15, Sashawn Falloon in P16, Michael Thompson in P17, Roger Keller in P18, and Greg Forte in P19. We will just get the interviews ready for you.
Oh, what fantastic racing. Congratulations to Jaden Harrison. What a fantastic race, or races, winning both of the races back to back. Unbelievable. Fantastic racing. Thank you so much, Stephen, for that. He's going to get the interviews ready very, very shortly. And they're all coming back to the pit lane now as we've again, showed you the results of race 2. And the top 3 will be getting the interviews here. So Jaden Harrison will be the last one that we speak to. Then we'll also have Barrera and Escorcia as well. I believe it's for race 2. Not sure if we get the ones for race 1 at all. So we'll find out very shortly. Here they all come back in, loving each and every moment of this. I think they might want to go onto the Daytona logo and do some donuts. I think he is. I honestly would not blame you at all. There he goes, Jaden Harrison. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and see. Let's see your best. Let's see your best, Jaden Harrison. You win the weekend. You win Daytona. First of 2 American races, or American rounds, on the calendar. As you might have heard earlier on, Watkins Glen will be next week, February 7th. And then we, of course, go abroad for several other races. The Red Bull Ring, Zandvoort, the Losail Circuit in Qatar, Monza in Italy, Suzuka in Japan, and then rounding out in Albert Park in Australia. So lots more fantastic racing to come here at the CTCC. There he is. Oh, we have to take a screenshot of that, don't we? There we are. Fantastic. Fantastic. Stephen, are we ready for the top 3 driver interviews?
Yes, we are. So we will be starting with Omar Escorcia, the Colombian driver. I will be dragging him over, but followed by him. He did finish this race, the second race, in P3. I should check and see where he came in the first race as well, but he did finish in P3. Rohe Robinson finished in P3 in the P2, my apologies, in the first race. Followed by Estefana Barrera, who finished in P3 in the first race and P2 in the second race. And then finally, Jaden Harrison will be the final driver for us to interview this evening. So I will start with Omar and drag him in for you right now. Omar, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going? Okay, I was.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, all good.
Well, Omar, fantastic race. Tell us how hectic race 2 was, because from our POV, it was absolutely insane.
Yeah, that second race was insanity. At one point, we were 4 wide on turn 1, if I'm not mistaken. So it was all about surviving and not get killed around, not get turned around. And so I know how Estefano races, so I try to work with him to make us win the race at least. But with all the fighting that it was going on track, Jaden took off and created a gap. But yeah, it was my first time racing these cars, so it was a lot of fun, a lot to learn. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, new cars this season. Did you enjoy the 15 seconds of boost every lap?
Yes, a lot. It was like a lot of strategy. So you had to. My approach was to save until the end of the race, so I could attack. So there was a lot of pump drafting, so to work together and not waste a lot of battery and attack the last 5 laps. Okay.
Stephen, do you have any questions for Omar?
At the moment, well, first of all, Omar, thank you so much for joining, man. Always a pleasure to have you. I would just love to know that last about 5 or 6 minutes, especially even that rundown to the final second. Did you think you got Estefano? Did you think you got the drive not to pull on him to take that P2
Uh,
from him?
I I
and
thought that I had
mhm.
him, but I miscalculated the boost, so I run short, just getting to the line. But yeah, it was kind of sad
Yeah, I
in
can
a way.
imagine. Um, and finally, the that battle between yourself, McNamee, Estefano, Jaden. I mean, you were right there in the smack dab of it, and I can imagine how sweaty you would have been at the end of it. Could you just walk us through your experience?
Oh my god, I don't even know. I don't even remember what happened. It was a lot going on at the same time. I had one eye on Stefano. I had one eye on Jaden. Is his name?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I don't even know other eye that I don't have on Mac McName
McNamee. Right.
McNamee, McNamee.
McNamee
Yep.
McNamee. Yeah. So it was a lot of to think about, and to be fast doing all of that. It was pretty hard.
Well, man, congratulations on the P3 finish. I'm sorry, I don't remember where you had finished in the first race, but you could enlighten us quickly if you remember yourself.
Oh yeah. First race, I thought that I had to start on first. Then I realized that that wasn't the case. That I had to start on second. So
Second.
everyone passed me.
Oh
Everyone
no.
passed me at the start, and then someone got hit and stopped on the middle of the track. So I had to go to the grass, and everyone passed me.
Oh
I
no.
Yes,
yeah.
I do recall that.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, either way, fantastic racing, Omar, and thank you so much again for joining us. And we hope to see you again next week for
Of
race
course,
two, round two.
of
Congrats,
course, of
Amar.
course. I'll be there.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you
Enjoy your
so
night.
much.
Thank you so much.
All right, Mark. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mar Escorcia from the Noble Racing team. We'll be having Rohir Robinson, who finished the first race in second, and I think the second race in P6, if I remember correctly, or P5. But
Somewhere
Rohir, can you
around
hear
then,
us?
yeah.
E6.
P6,
P6. My
P6.
apologies.
Well,
Chaotic race. But yes, Mark, you can take it, please.
oh, sure, no problem. Either way, it's all good. Rohe, yeah, fantastic race. Well, your purple car is amazing, by the way. One of the best liveries. What did you think of that battle, especially in race one, the end of race one, where you were battling for, I think it was P2, and both of you doing some bits of urgy burgy, but nothing crazy like race two, I must say. But what did you think of the battles with you and Barrera and a couple of others in there, and you going up and down between second and fourth? What did you think about all that?
Yeah, it was really crazy because the guys are really fast. I knew that from the consistent pace that I had, I knew that Dominic's car was a little bit damaged. So I was surprised that I could keep pace with him. So I just focused and tried to catch him. While catching him, we were battling, and then Ferreira came into the mix. But the last lap was crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
it
I was
was.
showing.
Yeah, and I do recall that final lap, and you must have been ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic at the end of that.
Yeah, it worked out for me, but I knew what Ferreira was doing. He wanted Dominic and I to go into the corner so he can sit back and, take the positions away. But while I got the push, I used my push to pass just to clear Daniel. Yeah,
Ah, I do
just to
remember that
clear
because you
Dominic.
just slotted in. I do remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to use everything I had just to clear Dominic so that I could go into that corner first, and it worked out. So
Oh, fantastic. Excellent racing, Rohe, I have to say. That was really exciting to watch. Stephen, what do you have to say? Oh, there he is.
Sorry, I'm just telling the results from the driver of the day voting. My apologies, but no, please you take it for the rest of the interviews.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
yeah. Well, I mean, no, no, Rohe, if you have to say something, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, race two was a little bit chaotic, as you pointed out. I had more weight in the car, and there was a lot of contact. I think I got into a few incidents, unlucky incidents, and unfortunately I got P6. But I was expecting a bit more further up the pack. But I'm happy. I think today was a great day, especially for race one. Thanks to the help of Jaden for that
Yeah.
draft
I do have
qualifying.
a question. As a matter of fact, we did
Uh,
notice on the lap, on the qualifying lap, actually, we did
mhm.
notice that you got the P3 by the help of a fellow Jamaican. Just
Yeah,
Yes.
wondering,
yeah.
I'm not sure if you had mentioned it. My apologies, because as I said, I was working on the um but yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I just want to confirm, one, it was there a little bit of team action, and two, even that battle between yourself, Estefano, uh, Dominic, in that last few moments to grab that P2 position. Um,
Mhm.
Congratulations, man! It was an epic drive. But yes, please share if you didn't share already.
Yeah, the qualifying actually the plan was for Jaden and I to help each other. If one of us if we're down on the lap, then we will help the other person. So I wanted to help Jaden to snatch P1 so that he could fight Dominic. But while following, Jaden did a really solid lap.
Mhm.
So we decided to switch the plan. So he helped me with qualifying. I almost got P2 actually. I messed up bus stop.
Oh no!
Almost got
Oh.
P2. But I'm
Oh,
happy with P3. It was a good start. Thanks Jaden for that. Good
Uh, for,
teamwork.
for the podium, that is still a fantastic place to finish. So yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, Rohit. It was epic to watch you fight your way through. I know you're sweating a little bit there, but I'm sure you enjoyed the racing. We definitely did enjoy it over here in the commentators. But looking forward to more battles with you in the very near future.
Yeah, hopefully the front wheel drives will have a better chance at the other tracks.
Yes, indeed. Well, congrats, Rohe, and I think you might be right about that. Daytona is rather difficult in these. So, well done again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's Rohe Robinson. And do we have the double winner, Estefano? Oh, well, it looks like we have Estefano Barrera coming in instead first. Excuse me, I was thinking Jaden Harrison was coming in. Estefano Barrera is coming in. Still a fantastic driver, I should say. Well, welcome on in. And Stephen, I think you have the intro for him.
Absolutely, Estefano. It's always a pleasure, brother. I am so excited to have you back here in the JSRA racing, especially on a Friday evening. But absolutely epic battles there in both race one and race two. Would love to hear your insights on the whole experience. I mean, even that fight between yourself, Rohe, and Dominic in the first race, finishing up in P3 and then P2 in the second race, having to fight back up with ballast. I think it was 42 kilograms of ballast through the field. Again, always a pleasure to have you, bro. But yeah, please tell us, walk us through those two races.
Yeah, guys. First of all, good night. Um, yeah, the first race was pretty chill. I was just trying to stay in second place because, the first race doesn't matter as much as the second one. So I was just trying to follow Jaden as much as I could. But sadly, my wheel disconnected in sector one, so I got caught by the two cars behind. Um, these cars are pretty close to each other, so there is a lot of skill involved. um, and these guys were so quick. So I also forgot I had a curse, so
No.
I was struggling behind them, losing time every lap until I found out, and I was just catching them as quick as possible. But unfortunately, yeah, I tried to push them both into a mistake in the stop in the last lap because I knew desperate, but one of them was careful. He just wanted to finish the race, I think.
Yeah.
So it worked at like 15%. So I'm happy. I'm happy with the result, of course, because I didn't die after that. And in the second race was, yeah, really, really, really crazy because of the bomb draft and and the slipstream. Daytona is always a crazy track to race at. So I was just trying to not to die. I was just playing a little bit aggressive. I had an incident before with some of the guys because he had, I don't know if he or me got an internet issue. So we were rubber banding. So when we got into the corner, I was pretty close to him and couldn't avoid the hit because he went too wide. But at the end of the day, I had a clean race, and yeah, I really enjoy these cars because they are, as I said before, they are so close to each other. There is a lot of skill, not really difference because one has a faster car on the straights, another in the corner. So it's really really fun trying to overtake because they are so small. You can try to overtaking like every corner of the track. It's a shame that the first gear is it's too long. I had a struggle with that one, but yeah, it was really really fun, guys. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. I mean, Estefano, I remember last year so many times, or the several times I commentated, it wasn't every race, but the several times I saw you charging up the field, and you so many times have been in contention to win. Today was no exception, and just want to commend you once again on just fantastic results. And you do have Jaden Harrison for company up there, among the best in the JSRA, and you obviously will be in contention if he continue like this for the championship. So you are doing absolutely fantastic as always, and keep pushing. Colombians and your team, fantastic drivers. You're doing really, really well.
Yeah, for sure. The next tracks seem really really technical. So we'll see what can we do on those. Of course, the guys are really fast. And yeah, thank you to my sponsor, Nova Racing Store, my teammates. They are always supporting me. Today they were my opponents, but they race fair and hard. So I really, it's a pleasure to race with them.
Absolutely, and the
Well,
next
great.
race indeed is Watkins Glen, by the way. Still in America, Watkins Glen for two more sprint races. Let's take a look at the schedule right here. There it is, round two next weekend, same night, same time, but it is at Watkins Glen International here in Assetto Corsa. Going to be some fantastic racing indeed, and
One quick question though, Estefano, and
it's
you don't have
fantastic.
to go into too much detail, sorry, Mark,
Oh,
but
my
that
apologies.
that last rundown to that's the start finish line to finish off the race, I'm sure you saw Omar poking his nose to try and see if he could get you. What was going through your mind?
I knew it was going to be complicated because I wasn't optimizing my car's usage well.
Right.
So yeah, and also Jaden has his own. I think Jaden was, had off tracks to do at the end of the race because he was cutting the chicane over the way. He was just jumping over it. So I knew it was gonna be hard. So I was just trying to stay in P2 because the car
Cool.
behind was pretty close. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just chill out here and finish the race. It was a crazy race, so I didn't want to get involved into another fight and just try on
Right.
in the next races.
Well, congratulations again, bro, and it's as always amazing to have you back in the races. So looking forward to many more.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank
It's
you
always
so
a
much,
pleasure to race here.
Estefano. Thank you.
Have a good one, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
And Mark, that was Estefan Barrero finishing off in P3 and in P2. But now is the time that you're waiting on, Mr. Jaden Harrison, who did the
Ah,
clean sweep for this evening. The P1 in race 1 and P1 in race 2. Mr. Harrison, you had a very, well, first of all, can you hear us?
Yes.
Awesome. You had an absolutely epic race one. You kept it at clean as possible. You built your gap as quickly as possible. You even got some news that you gave a little bit of help to your countryman, Mr. Rohey Robinson, to bring him closer in the podium spots in the qualifying session. But you could just walk us through that strategy. First of all, was it supposed to lead into the race? And how did it all? Well, let's see how it panned out. But how did it? Well, I want to say how did it work out because it worked out pretty well. But yeah, please tell us your experience.
Um, yeah, I didn't expect to have so much pace, but I guess the the I got used to the car. I didn't really have a great setup. It was just going with the flow, and then I guess they were racing hard behind, and race one I just checked out as quickly as possible, put on consistent laps, and just cruise to the end, no mistakes, not trying to spin out or push it. And then race two was interesting because there wasn't really a lot of incidents, but there was more. It was hectic on the start, like we were bumping a lot and stuff, getting sideways, managed to clear that and got into two incidents, making two passes to get up to second place. I reviewed them briefly. It didn't really. The first one was kind of both of us kind of going into each other, and then the second one, I feel like I held my line and I was just turned into. But yeah, just consistent laps, saving the battery till the end, and getting past Michael, and then yeah, the race to the ending was interesting because it looked like Team Nova were kind of playing a strategy to slingshot Estefano. Like I saw somebody in the draft and just slingshot out and almost passed me. So that almost got me. That was good strategy. But yeah, otherwise from that it was close at the end of race two with the strategy from Nova. And yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, Jaden, fantastic racing, and yeah, I mean, the fact that you had fun is, the best part of it, right? You are obviously you're winning the races and you're dominating the races, but you are having fun, which is the best part of that. So that's what we like to hear at the JSRA, is that you're having fun, and so we hope to see more of that going into the coming weeks. So you did absolutely wonderful today. You were in the battles a little bit. It took you a bit to pull away, but that's just the nature of the close racing of the CTCC. You didn't really face any anxiety, did you, throughout race two? Because there was a virtual safety car kind of thrown in there and a restart, but you seemed to do pretty well under the pressure.
Yeah, well, I was hoping the VRC was going to come because I wasn't really sure the fuel and just more fun racing, but good way to start off the championship with
I
the
have
back-to-back wins.
I have one question for you. To fight through the field with 60 kilograms, and it's not like you're going up against easy drivers with 60 kilograms to fight through the field and still take home the gold in the second race. Can you give us a little bit of that experience? Were you feeling the weight, especially on the straights, where you didn't necessarily have much to uh, get away, in terms of the slipstream? Even when you reach up to Michael McNamee on in turn one, if I remember correctly, him going wide, but that just invited not just one, not just two, not just three, but four drivers fighting it out for P1. Could you give us a little bit of insight on that one, especially with how you with the weight of the car and the 60 kilograms of ballast? It's a lot of questions.
Um, yeah, well, now that you mention it now, that makes sense because I was really low on the straight. I didn't really I forgot about it till you just mentioned it. So that actually makes sense. I was wondering why I was half a second off my lap times. But yeah, it was I guess that just made it more close. And it definitely did work because I was thinking if McNair managed his boost, I was also a bit low from getting past everybody else. So if he managed his boost and stay consistent, I think he could have won the race or came second there. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that McNamee incident, yeah, that absolutely could have been his race for sure. And unfortunate for him, but definitely a mention here in the post-race interview. He almost deserves an interview on his own. He did really, really well today. So yeah, that's a good shout from Jaden Harrison there. Jaden, thank you so very much for coming on in. You have a great rest of your night. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen. Thank you so much and great wins tonight.
And
Yep.
congratulations again, brother. It was absolutely epic. And as Mark said, looking forward to seeing you again next week for round two. The battles are heating up as the race progresses. So keep it going, man. And looking forward to seeing and sharing your results here with the JSRA.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
And yes, Mark, that does bring the interviews to a conclusion. Any last thoughts?
From me, honestly, just thank you so much for the amazing racing today, folks. That was really, really a treat to watch. And thank you, Stephen, for organising all of that. We wouldn't have had that without you. So, really, really good. And that sets the tone for this, these rounds that you see on the screen there coming up, 8 rounds. For the CTCC, it's only going to get even more close. Just absolutely amazing battles, people giving it their all, and in the end, the best people won. And that's what you want out of racing. And so, what more could you really ask for, Stephen?
Absolutely. And again, it's not even me, but the drivers, the team that we have here. We thank you for coming on board, relieving a lot of the stress here and doing an impeccable job. I know we did have a few uh, volume issues, but
I
we'll
think
iron
we
those out
did,
throughout the
yeah.
week. Yep,
I don't
but
know
that's
what
fine.
exactly happened, but I think people were saying you were a bit low, so I do apologize. That is completely my fault.
No, that's fine. We'll go and review the broadcast and we'll make our changes to come back even better next week. But Mark, I am so excited for the season as my closing. The drivers are epic. The commentary, sir, is absolutely epic. That introduction by you was absolutely stunning and beautiful. So hats off to you, sir. And I'm looking forward to a very lucrative season with the team that we have. Rohir Robinson, Jaden Harrison, Kimani Eastman, 3 of our head developers of these cars. The commentary team, well, I'll say the commentator, because I'm just want to give you a little bit of an assist when I can, and our live stewarding team that we have coming in. This season is going to be absolutely epic, and I, for one, am absolutely excited for this season. So, sir, it's been an absolute pleasure to come alongside you.
Been an
And
absolute pleasure for me as well.
yes, sir. So please feel free to cap it off.
I would be more than happy to. So from the Daytona International Speedway, that is the Caribbean Touring Car Championship. Round 1 complete. We'll see you next weekend.
Wait,
Same.
I,
Oh, yes.
I'm so sorry. I know I did ask you to cap it off.
You did.
Um, but just a quick update, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not forget to vote. We are trying to even see if
Oh,
we can get
driver of
this
the
thing going.
day. Yes.
Yes,
Who won?
and as it stands, I'm going to leave it because it's still going up. Dominic Charles has 11 votes, which is
Oh.
48% of the voting. Estefana Barrera has 7 votes, which is 30%. Jaden Harrison has 4 votes, and Rohir Robinson
That is.
has 1. So I think
Wow.
we should run this for a little bit longer, and then we'll share the results on our Instagram. So please feel free. Follow us on Instagram, share it with your friends, get them in on the action, because this racing, even though we need the drivers, we need the commentators, we need the live stewards, we also need you, the fans, to get this and give this to. So, that being said,
Thank you, Mark.
No problem. I have to say, Jaden Harrison's getting a bit robbed on that driver of the day, but we'll see. Maybe more votes. Well, now it sounds like we're rigging the vote, but I promise we're not. But we will be announcing that shortly, so be in the Discord for that.
And the Instagram, please.
Yes, please. Someone's gonna win that, and it sounds like Dominic Charles is very popular. It be like that sometimes. So once again, Stephen from Stephen Stewart and Mercurio, the commentary team from the Daytona International Speedway. Same time next week for the CTCC Round 2 from Watkins Glen International. We'll be live here on Twitch and YouTube with that coverage around the globe. So thank you so very much for watching. We'll see you then next week. You've been watching the JSRA.